Hi everyone and welcome to Southside Dodge Rebels this week. Plenty to show you once again on this week's episode. 3 games worth of highlights, plenty of comments from the general manager Brent Sutter on his new look hockey club. We check in with 2 of the newest acquisitions and we go around the Western Hockey League. But let's kick things off by going back to last Tuesday as the Rebels wrapped up their 2-week road trip by taking on the Swift Current Broncos. Rebels strike first in this one. Colton Mayer steals the puck down low, then loses it. Broncos can't clear it though. Hayden Fleury unleashes the knuckle puck on A2 Larakainen. The lanky blue liner gets his first ever Western Hockey League goal. Broncos strike back a few minutes later. Chance Lund streaks in down the right wing side, finds Graham Black alone in front of the Rebels net. He chips it past Patrick Bartosak. Great chance here for Brooks Maxwell as he charges hard toward the net, but Larakainen is there to shut the door. Matt Bellerive leads the rush from the Rebels' blue line. He thinks about passing before letting loose with a scorching wrist shot that beats Larakainen. Great snipe by Bellerive for his second of the year. Coda Gordon tees it up for Reese Scarlett, who fires on net. Rebound sits out front, but Matthew Dumba there with a solid back check on Adam Lowry. Turner Elson knocks the puck out of midair. Dumba's wrister from the point is handled easily by Larakainen. Rebels still up by 1, but that lead wouldn't last much longer. Puck goes back to the point for Richard Nenemiel. His point shot is tipped in front by Tanner Lassan. No chance for Bartosak. 6 minutes into the third, it's 2-2. Maxwell comes flying in. He goes with the backhand deke, but what a save by Larakainen. It's plays like that which made him last week's CHL goalie of the week. We've got fisticuffs. Devin Fafford squares off with Josh Durko. Probably not a good call by Fafford as he goes down with a hard right to the jaw. Rebels come on the attack. Dumba slides it out front to Maxwell, who is stopped, but he finds his own rebound and beats Larakainen for his first of the season. The go-ahead goal comes with 2:30 left in the third. You knew Swift Current would come hard for the equalizer. Puck loose in the Rebel slot. Bartosak gets his stick on the puck before Lowry can shoot, then covers up on the rebound. And that would be it as the final buzzer goes. The Rebels finish off their 6-game Eastern road trip with a 3-2 victory. Game data brought to you by 247reddeer.ca. Brooks Maxwell's first goal of the season stood up as the game winner as the Rebels capped off a very successful road trip. So finally, after 2 full weeks away from the NMAX Centrium, the Rebels returned home this past Friday night for another matchup versus the Medicine Hat Tigers. Charles Inglis, as he often does, getting his guys charged up before puck drop. Tigers get the first good scoring chance. Stephen Oury with the shot, but Bolton Pouliot there for the save. A costly turnover by the Rebels in their own zone as the puck ends up on the stick of Miles Koulis. The California native makes a great pass to Hunter Shinkarik, who puts it home for his 4th of the season. It's 1-0 Tigers. But less than 2 minutes later, Turner Elson brings the puck across the blue line. Connor Blakely with the shot. It goes off a Tigers defender and past Dawson McCauley. For Blakely, it's his 1st of the season and 3rd of his young career, and it makes it 1-1 through 20. Oury tries to work it along the boards in Rebels territory before he's erased by big Brandon Underwood. Matt Bellerive gets in on the hit parade by nailing Dylan Busanius. Kevin Pochek fires on net. The rebound just rolls away from Corey Miette. Curtis Volk comes in from his off wing and leans into one, but can't beat Pouliot. Turner Elson steals the puck in the corner, finds a wide open Blakely, but his shot is an easy one for McCauley to make the save. Shot from the point by the Tigers is stopped by Pouliot. Rebound to Trevor Cox, who just hits the side of the net with his backhander. Matthew Dumba zigs and zags, then tries for the wraparound, but is denied. Elson again gets the puck in Tigers territory. His pass out front goes off the stick of Koulis and past McCauley. A definite lucky break for the new Rebels captain earns him his 2nd of the season. It also earns the Rebels a 2-1 lead. Tyson Ness chips it to Charles Inglis, who fires from a sharp angle. McCauley makes that stop. Trevor Cox finds himself a shooting lane, but fires it right into the logo on Bolton's jersey. Christian Stockel looks for his first goal as a Rebel, but he also finds the chest protector on the opposition netminder. Gavin Broadhead streaks across the Rebels line and fires through a screen. He almost finds a hole. Corey Miette finds Inglis wide open near the crease. Joel Hamilton spins and fires, but neither man finds the back of the net. They hang on for a hard-fought 2-1 win over the Tigers. It's their 3rd win in a row and their 1st on home ice this season.
Like I said to the guys in the room, sometimes you have to win ugly. I didn't think it was our best game. I thought we were a little bit flat at certain points in the game, but ultimately we found a way to grind it out and get her done. So it's a big 2 points for us, a big win at home, and that was our goal here coming back. We wanted to make sure that we got 2 points under our belt getting off that trip.
An obvious key to this Rebels victory was a solid effort by Bolton Pouliot. The Rebels staff definitely happy to see the young netminder living up to his potential.
Well, I thought he was solid. Bolt went in and he looked very poised, very solid. He was just looked very comfortable back there, and he made some quality saves for us.
No, it's been good working with black slots off the ice, and the mental part of thing, as I say always, it's the biggest thing in this league, and it helps with everything.
Not only was it the Rebels' first home ice win this season, it was their first win over the Tigers here at the Centrium since October of 2009. So one night after that thrilling victory, the Rebels headed south down the QE2 for their second game at the Saddle Dome this season versus the high-flying Calgary Hitmen. Hitmen looking to remain unbeaten in regulation this season. The Rebels looking for their second straight win at the Saddle Dome. Calgary opens the scoring thanks to great work by import forward Pavlo Padakin. He steals the puck from Ferguson, spins away from Fleury. His shot is stopped, but Jake Vertanen is all over the rebound. The former first overall Bantam pick beats Pouliot for his first of the year and a 1-0 Hitman lead. Jan Bittner turns it over in his own zone. Janen Risling's point shot is a weak one that's tipped twice on its way to the net. Pouliot had to be sharp to stop that one. Brooks Masick leads the Hitman rush this time. He goes right through Bittner on his way to the net. Pouliot makes the save, but the Rebels can't clear the rebound. Their entire line caught flat-footed as Masick gets another shot on goal. Not a very good defensive shift, to say the least. Calgary working on the power play. Spencer Humphreys has his point shot blocked by Tyson Ness. Turner Elson then makes a cagey bounce pass off the boards, and Ness is off to the races in all alone. He blasts one in off the crossbar past Max Shields. That's the Rebels' first shorthanded goal of the season, and it ties it 1-1. Christian Stockel cuts across the Calgary blue line. His long wrister beats Shields but goes off the post. The long rebound comes right to Cormier, who wastes no time putting it into the open cage. The Saskatchewan native nets his 4th of the season, and the Rebels suddenly lead 2-1. But the lead would last less than 10 minutes. Greg Chase charges into the Rebels zone and puts the puck on a platter for Cody Sylvester. He fires home the one-timer for a power play goal. Sylvester has feasted on the Rebels in 3 games this season. Here he ties it 2-2. Zane Jones sets up Carson Samaritny for a close-in chance. Pouliot gets just enough to keep it out. Alex Roach then gets a point shot through but finds the side of the net. Hitmen pretty much dominated this game despite the close score. You can't even count the number of times Pouliot needed to shut the door and bail his team out of a jam. But he can only do so much as the puck finds its way to, Cody Sylvester. He goes top shelf for his second of the game. Calgary gets the lead back 3-2. They would add an empty netter. The Hitmen end the Rebels' 3-game winning streak. Final score 4-2. Rebels put up a valiant effort in this one despite being outshot heavily, but in the end the Hitmen were just too strong on home ice. Charles Inglis continues to lead the Rebels with 10 points. Then you've got a couple of players sitting at 9. Matthew Dumba working it at both ends of the rink. He's at 7 points already. Rebels right in the middle of the pack when it comes to the Central Division standings, behind Edmonton and Calgary and ahead of Medicine Hat, Kootenay, and Lethbridge. Here's what's on tap for the Rebels this week. Tuesday night, they're back at the NMAX Centrium to take on the Kamloops Blazers. Then it's a home-and-home series this weekend versus Kootenay. Friday here in Red Deer, Saturday out in Cranbrook. As always, catch every Rebels game on the radio at 106.7 The Drive. Coming up after the break, we check in with the brand new Red Deer Rebels captain. We hear from the general manager about his thoughts on the club. And later on, we go in the corners with Jared Waldo.
Southside Dodge Chrysler Jeep and RV Center is proud to serve Central Alberta. 100% satisfaction, friendly salespeople, and excellent customer service. Southside Dodge, home of the $10,000 giveaway.
Hi everyone, Jack here at 360 Fitness Personal Training. If you're looking to lose weight, burn fat, and just feel great in your clothes again, 360 Fitness can get you there. Work one-on-one with our trainers to get you in the best shape of your life. Get results or your money back.
Complete Athlete in Sylvan Lake is Central Alberta's #1 hockey training facility, boasting one of the world's largest skating treadmills and stick handling platforms. Learn, train, perform. Complete Athlete in Sylvan Lake.
Welcome back to the show. It's a brand new era for your Red Deer Rebels Hockey Club as Turner Elson takes over as captain from the departed Adam Cambites. With more on that, here's Jared Waldo.
The writing was on the wall. Immediately upon acquiring Brandon Underwood from the Regina Pats, it meant that one of Charles Inglis, Adam Cambites, or Turner Elson was on his way out of Red Deer. When D-Day came and went, it was the captain who was packing up his things. Cambites was traded to the Saskatoon Blades for 17-year-old Christian Stockel and a third-round draft pick. Rebels general manager Brent Sutter said deciding on which player they were going to move wasn't an easy one.
You know, it's never easy to be able to tell a player that that's been here for 4 years and was your captain that you're moving him on. But there's decisions that have to be made, and I can't let it get attached personally with me. I have to be able to separate that and make sure that whatever decision I make is the right decision for the organization, just not today, but in the future.
As much as it was about getting down to just 3 overaged players, Sutter felt that the move was also about allowing head coach Jesse Wallen to redistribute the ice time to some of his younger players.
But our young kids need to be given opportunities to put in situations that they can grow in, and our coaching staff recognizes that, and my job is to implement it, and that's what I'm doing.
As tough as it was for the GM, the trade was just as hard for the players, some of whom have spent their entire WHL careers with Cambites to this point.
Yeah, it's really tough to see Adam go, but I'm still happy for him. It's a great opportunity. The things that can come out of Memorial Cup and the opportunity that he's going to get is great for him.
Yeah, I was pretty sad. When I came into the league as a 16-year-old, he was obviously 17, and I really looked up to him even at that point in time. I thought he was a leader. And just growing up with him, coming up in the league, he was just such a great guy and a good friend. And it was obviously tough he had to go, but I'm happy for him. He's going to be on a team that's got a buy-in pretty much to the Memorial Cup, so I hope he does really well there and exceeds there and fits in well.
With the move, Inglis, Underwood, and Elson all remain safe, and the trio will likely finish their careers here in Central Alberta. Still, despite not knowing the deal was coming, it didn't make it any easier for one player in particular whose time in Red Deer was spared.
He was one of my best friends and great player, great leader, and I'm just going to try to pick up where he left off, and that was just being a great captain. That's what I got to do.
Elson will wear the C for the remainder of the season as the Rebels captain, flanked by Underwood, Matthew Dumba, and Joel Hamilton as alternates. Elson is aware of the baggage that comes with being named captain, but feels he's up for the challenge.
You got a little bit more responsibility, you got a lot more things to focus on, but it's a good responsibility, and it makes you better as a leader and as a person. So it's a good thing to have right now, and I'm going to enjoy it and try to work with it.
It was a tense week and a half for the Rebels and fans alike, as the decision on who stayed and who left had to be made. In the end, Sutter and his coaching staff feel they made the best decision possible for the organization, even if it was a move that was difficult to make.
I have a plan in place, and I'm going to follow through with it.
For Rebels This Week, I'm Jared Waldo.
Thanks, Jared. Now, when Brent Sutter joined us here on the show a couple of weeks ago, he made it very clear that should he feel the need for change, he would not hesitate to make the moves he felt were necessary.
There's obviously with now with the new GM in place, I have some different thoughts and that I'm going to implement, and whether it's through some personnel changes or just whether through it's some things the way I want to see our team play, and stuff that Jesse and Bryce and I have discussed all summer long, and kind of how the game needs to change. And now it's just been more firmer and more firm on how I want to see it done, and I believe the game has changed, and you have to adjust and make those changes with it.
Pretty happy with this group of players that you've assembled. You've got some talent in pretty much every phase of the game here. Just maybe your thoughts on what's going to hit the ice here starting this weekend.
Well, I guess I'm very guarded, and we had a tough time scoring goals last year, and I know injuries had a big part of that. But now being healthy and going through exhibition, I've sensed that. I sense we're not a team that's going to score goals easy. We got to work for everything we get, and so there's things as a general manager that I have to address, and I've been slowly working at that. And it's not thinking you're going to make a big bang, big change, but it's tweaking things in certain areas to make your hockey club better.
A few weeks later, we've all seen that he's a man of his word, and this Red Deer Rebels hockey club has a drastically different look to it.
I have a plan in place, and I'm going to follow through with it. And you know, there's a couple areas that I felt that start the season that we needed to improve on, and you know, and those are the things that I'm working on here right now.
One of the areas Sutter sought to improve immediately was the lack of depth amongst his 17-year-olds. During the preseason, the Rebels group of 95-born players included Corey Miette, Scott Fazer, Dexter Bricker, Kevin Pochuk, and Cale Detzel. Out of that group, Fazer and Bricker have been reassigned. Pochuk was reassigned and has since been recalled. Clearly, this shelf of the cupboard needed restocking. Now here's how the Rebels group of 17-year-olds looks after Sutter's deck shuffling. Wyatt Johnson has yet to play as he continues to deal with post-concussion issues. Ferguson is a relative unknown who was brought in at a very low cost. Stockel, being the return piece in the Adam Cambites trade, will have the highest expectations heaped upon his shoulders.
He's normally a right winger, but my recommendation to our coaching staff was that when you watch him play with his skill sets and how he sees the ice, it's almost you might say, holding him back by playing the wing. And we got to allow him to have that flow in his game and let his skills flourish. And the best situation for a player like that is to play center ice. And it tells you about his hockey sense. He had never played there before, and the other night he goes there and he looks like he's been playing it his whole life. So it tells you something about him as a player.
The benefits in loading up on talented, or at least potentially talented, 17-year-olds are twofold.
It's not always just going to be immediate. You look at what it can do for you down the road, and you take past history in account, especially when you're dealing with these 16, 17, 18-year-old players. You look at where they're at, bantam level, where they're at midget level, and you know, some players' development and growth is at different stages than others.
Now, when you add in a bunch of new bodies while sending out just draft picks, something has to give. For the Rebels, that meant reassigning a pair of players who had seen limited action so far this season. In Scott Fazer's case, he hadn't seen any game action at all. Stephen Hack played just once. This was unacceptable for Sutter, so both players are off to Junior A.
To me, I want all our young players playing. You know, I talked to Jesse and the coaches about that. I said, you know what, the easy thing is to keep a 16, 17-year-old here, and they're always easy players to sit in the stands. But I'm not going to let that happen. You know, I want these young players playing, developing, get them back and get them in the right programs where you know they can develop.
So with all his wheeling and dealing done with, for the time being at least, Sutter is excited for his newly assembled group of 17-year-olds and the chance to work them into his master plan.
We got some tremendous 16-year-olds and we got some great 15-year-old players too. So, you know, and our 20-year-olds and 19-year-olds have to be really good leaders, and our 18-year-olds is a real strong, our 18-year-olds is a real strong character group, and so I wanted to add skill with their 95 age group.
As we just mentioned, Christian Stockel will have plenty of pressure on him to perform, as he's the guy who comes in for the fan favorite captain going the other way. But as he said the other day, he's up for that challenge.
Obviously, getting traded for the captain is a big deal, and I'm obviously not going to be able to fill that role right away as replacing a captain of a team, but something eventually I can hopefully fill those shoes in.
Austin Ferguson was brought in from the Kelowna Rockets for pretty much next to nothing, making it a very low-risk gamble, but Sutter is hoping he struck gold with this one. Time now for another installment of Train Like a Rebel. This time, Jack from 360 Fitness shows us some proper stretching techniques.
Hi everyone, Jack here at 360 Fitness Personal Training. Last week we chatted about the importance of stretching. This week we're going to chat about how and when to stretch. When you're stretching, you want to stretch after your workouts or after your game or after your practice to help prevent injury and stretch out those sore muscles that have been working so hard for so long. Also, it'll increase recovery into the next few days. When you're stretching, you want to be as safe as possible to help protect your muscles. So don't bounce around, don't fidget, don't overexert yourself. So as soon as you feel a nice stretch and a nice pull in the muscle, stay within that movement. Don't overexert yourself and try to do more than you can.
Coming up after the break, we go in the corners with Wally, we go around the Western Hockey League, and we check in with another initiative with the AMA.
Nelson to Hack, the shot, score!
Hey Red Deer Rebels fans, have we got the show for you? Southside Dodge Rebels This Week is your #1 source for everything Rebels. Highlights, interviews, stats, and exclusive behind-the-scenes features brought to you each and every week by those who have their eye on the Rebels all season long. Southside Dodge Rebels This Week, weeknights on Shaw TV. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. Once again, it's time to go in the corners with Jared Waldo.
The winds of change have been blowing around the NMAX Centrium the past couple of weeks. The main reason for that, the return of Brent Sutter to this Rebels organization on a day-to-day basis. Well, Sutter always had his hands in things as he was coaching down in Calgary, but now that he's back full-time as the general manager, we've seen changes he said were coming before this season started. Now, last year, Jesse Wallen was the coach and GM, but when you're coaching, your focus is mostly on the ice, and some of the personnel things and decisions that need to be made weren't there. Now that Brent Sutter's here, we've seen the decision made amongst the 20-year-olds, the trading of Adam Cambites, something that might have been harder for Jesse Wallen to do because, as Sutter has stated, when you're not emotionally attached to the players like Jesse was, it's easier to make moves. Now the Cambites is out, Christian Stockel is in, Austin Ferguson comes in from the Kelowna Rockets, more changes being made all the time, and also when you include the two players reassigned recently, Scott Fazer to the Camrose Kodiaks of the Alberta Junior Hockey League and Stephen Hack back to Steinbach of the Manitoba Junior League. All these changes are exactly what Sutter had planned in place before the season started. He's already stated he's got more to come. Follow me on Twitter and my blog on rebelrebellion.com.
Time now to go around the Western Hockey League, and Shaw TV is partnering with the WHL on a brand new documentary series. WHL Full On follows teams and players from around the league. It gives you a behind-the-scenes look as to what goes on in the Western Hockey League. The crew was recently here in Red Deer filming for an upcoming episode.
We're spending a couple days with Turner Elson, the new captain for the Rebels, and this is going to be episode 3. We've got the title is called My Two Families, and it's profiling the 16-year-old player that's just come into the league for the first time and the 20-year-old player who's been in the league for 4 to 5 years, and just the contrast between the two. You know, what's it like for that first-year player coming into the league, and the 20-year-old guy who's been in the league for 4 or 5 years. What life is like for them. How the relationships they've developed, and the life that they've built in the town that they're playing.
And you can catch the Red Deer Rebels episode of WHL Full On Shaw TV coming up on November 12th. Now, there is also a brand new online magazines for junior hockey fans to check out. Dub Nation was brought to life by lifelong sports writer Doyle Pontineau, who's covered junior hockey for 20 years for numerous newspapers. In the October 2012 edition, Dave Lowry returns to the Dub and takes over the Royals' reigns in Victoria. There's also talk about a new arena in Seattle, and it's a hot topic in the Pacific Northwest. Also, there's a history of the WHL section, and the legendary Ernie Punch McLean is the focus. And lastly, the online magazine also includes the 2012-2013 WHL preview. You can check it out online at whl.ca. The WHL completed its 20-year-old cut-down draft last Thursday. The Everett Silvertips took 20-year-old defenseman Connor Cox while releasing 20-year-old forward Cody Fowley. Cox was released by the Saskatoon Blades on Wednesday. Now these 4 20-year-old players remain as free agents following the cut-down draft. The Saskatoon Blades are doing their part to help fight breast cancer. On October 20th, during their game against the Everett Silvertips, the Blades will be debuting a special edition jersey to raise awareness about all types of cancer, including breast cancer. The jersey will feature a unique Blades cancer ribbon logo. The bottom of the jersey will also include a list of names as a special tribute from the players. The names are of Blades season ticket holders, family members, and friends who have lost their battles with cancer. Once again this year, the Rebels have teamed up with the Alberta Motor Association to show you the dangers of drunk driving.
You're not necessarily feeling like you can't walk, but try them on and we'll see what it does to your balance and your concentration and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically what we've done is we've put these beer goggles on athletes all over the province, football players, hockey players, and the idea is it simulates alcohol impairment at different levels. And we want to see what their motor skills are like, their depth perception, their balance, their concentration, and give them a sense of what it's like when you've had a couple of drinks.
Definitely a lot harder to skate, a lot harder to handle the puck, and I don't know, it was just weird. I couldn't focus, or my balance was off. My motor abilities were not where they should have been.
I don't want to puke. I got to.
It just affects your whole balance, your whole perception of where you think the puck and everything is. It's pretty crazy.
These are ones that aren't even making me feel that drunk. Then I can't imagine what it would be like to be a lot more drunk and trying to drive or do anything of that sort. It would definitely be dangerous, and don't recommend it after doing that.
These athletes are in a great position to influence young people. They go around to high schools, the audiences that come to the game. It's a great message, and we want to tap into their leadership abilities and help them share the message that when you've had a few drinks, it's not safe to do your job, whether your job's playing hockey or driving your friends home after a night out.
Having this knowledge will obviously help me talk to kids and tell them that they shouldn't be doing things like this, and that it's definitely dangerous and not good for anyone.
It's something that I think everyone should know, and that it's not something to joke around with. It's fun out here and fun to kind of get on the ice and put on the beer goggles and whatnot, but in real life, when it comes down to when you're drinking or doing anything with alcohol, it's not a joking matter, and you got to take things very seriously.
That about does it for this week's show. Check us out online at rebelsthisweek.com. We'll see you next time.
Foster, top of the right wing circle, up high. Dylan Ruck had 80 points a year ago. Now to Foster in the right wing circle, out of the corner with room. Shot, he scores! A beautifully placed shot, TJ Foster.
They've got a 2-on-1. To catch with Jacobs. To catch, Jacobs scores!
With it. Left side, gets it. Drawing in. The clock goes over to Holberg and shoots and scores! It's Holberg, a one-timer!
Off the boards, and he skates it over center. Rolls over Joe Higgins. And rolls over another man. It's Kansing. Hits the dirt. Two big hits by Cook. 39 to go in, and Oil Kings coming in looking for the equalizer. Foster off the wing, shot, scores! TJ Foster.
Well, be ready there for the Warriors. Finding Braden Point, looking for Kirsch, right circle, left side, Riley! They score! Oh, baby, tic-tac-toe! Champion, and he finishes it off.
Number is open line, breakaway pass, Panakin, third breakaway of the night, coming at the shot, glove save! Oh, and a dandy there from Luke Siemens.
Around and finally it's Tershot hit hard by Gore.
Into the Calgary zone, off the right wing circle, cutting to the middle, takes the slap shot, backhand, scores!